guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video. Today we are back with the Championship predictions as the international break is over.
Thankfully.
Yes, thank God for that, honestly. I'm not a massive fan of the international break myself. Obviously, Championship football is back, so we're doing a predictions video today. Before we get into this, you know the drill. Hit the like button. Let's get over 100 likes on this one. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And let's get started with the Friday night fixture, which is between West Bromwich Albion and Birmingham City. Now, West Brom, before the international break, did lose their unbeaten record to Stoke, but it's still been a very good start. And I could see West Brom... I can see them getting automatics this season, to be honest. I don't think they're going to lose too many. And against Birmingham, who, I don't know what's happened to them, because they were quite good at the start and they've just fallen away. I think this should be fairly easy for West Brom. Birmingham need a bounce back. Who knows? Maybe the international break is what they needed. Maybe they'll come back stronger. But I can't see it against West Brom. I'm going to go for the Baggies to win 2-0.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to the Baggies as well. Yeah, I know. Birmingham started really quite strong and they've just dropped right off it, but you never know with Blues. Like, this could be a game where they go and win 1-0, but I do think, yeah, West Brom are looking pretty good, and even their players away on international break, they're still firing. That Callum Robinson got 2, so yeah, I'm gonna have to back them to win 2-0.
2-0 to the Baggies. We also have a derby for the Saturday lunchtime game, which is between two West London teams, Fulham and Queen's Park Rangers, and this will be an interesting one because they're both in the playoffs. And I expect them to both be up there this season. Fulham will probably be slight favourites because of the quality they've got in their team. But before the international break, they obviously got dismantled by Coventry City. They got taken apart. And QPR, they took a big win going into the international break against Preston. So it's one of them. It really could go absolutely any way. I might just go for QPR. I think there's holes in this Fulham team, and I think QPR might be able to exploit them. Fulham 1, QPR 2.
Yeah, I see what you mean, because when we played them, I was not impressed at all, but then again, it could have been an off day for them. So I'm going to back them to win. I think they need to bounce back from that defeat, because it was a pretty heavy defeat. And I think there's going to be goals, so I'm going to go 3-2 to Fulham. 3-2 Fulham, yeah, wouldn't surprise me. It could be a really good game, that one. Keep an eye out for that one. We'll move on to the 3 PM kickoffs. We have Coventry City away at Blackburn Rovers. I'll be going to this one, so make sure to look out for a vlog. This one could be interesting. I think both teams have had a pretty decent start. Coventry obviously better than Blackburn Rovers so far because we're up to 3rd. But Blackburn, you can't underrate them because it's still been a decent start. And remember last season, guys, they beat us 4-0. So they're a dangerous team. Obviously, they've got Brereton Diaz, but he's not going to be playing because of quarantine reasons. We've obviously got Victor Gyökeres, who's obviously been away on international service for Sweden, and it's a really hard one to call. If this was at home, I'd back Coventry. At home, we're flawless. Yeah. Away from home, I think we actually haven't been terrible, but we're not as good away as we are at home. And that Luton defeat, we need to put that behind us and get our 2nd win on the road at some point. But I just think Blackburn are a strong team, and I'm going to go for a draw here, but a thriller. Blackburn 2, Coventry 2. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. At home, we are looking a strong force, to be honest. We are looking very, very good at home. However, our away form is pretty poor. I'm not just referring to the Luton game. Some of these games where we should have got a point at least and we're just throwing it away, like Barnsley early on in the season, that should have at least been a point. QPR, we looked all right, and then, yeah, we took our 2 strikers off, then we went 2-0 down. Some of these games where we should be getting things from and we're not, and I think Blackburn could be the same. I feel like we're going to go 1-0 up and then we're going to concede later on. So 1-1.
1-1. Okay, we're both going for a draw there. Next up, Bristol City versus Bournemouth. This one's interesting. Bristol City have the best away form in the league. I bet you didn't know that.
I didn't.
But they haven't won at home yet. And they haven't won at home since the start of the year. They're a very strange team, Bristol City. AFC Bournemouth, obviously top of the league. So I think with poor home form and the fact you're playing Bournemouth, who are top, you've got to go for Bournemouth. But this is the Championship, and it wouldn't surprise me if Bristol City win this. But I'm going to go for Bristol City 1, AFC Bournemouth 3.
That's so weird. I'm saying the same. Yeah, I think it's going to be 3-1. Yeah, Bournemouth, they're looking very good this season. And I did think West Brom and Fulham are going to have the automatics, but you can't rule out Bournemouth, the form they're in. So I think they should win. I didn't know about Bristol City's away form, however they are at home. So for me, it's got to be a Bournemouth win, and I think there's going to be goals, so I'm going to say 3-1 as well.
3-1 as well. The next game is Huddersfield Town versus Hull City, and Huddersfield, to be honest, they're still mixing it in with the top half of the table, so their fans will be hoping they can keep it up a bit longer, and then, yeah, well, you don't have to worry about a relegation battle if that's the case. Talking of the relegation battle, Hull City are still down and amongst it, but they did pick up a big win before the international break. They need that to be a turning point because they'd looked quite poor up until then. This is tough. This is really tough. I'm going to go for a bit of a shock here. Huddersfield Town 0, Hull City 1.
Okay, I thought you were going to say the same as me then. I thought I'm going to have to change it up. I'm going to back a 0-0. I think, yeah, Hull, to be fair to them, they don't concede that many goals. And, yeah, I think this one, Huddersfield are obviously going to be the favourites going into it. But I think, yeah, it's just going to be a stalemate for me. So I'm going to have to say 0-0.
0-0. Okay, interesting. The next game is between Middlesbrough and Peterborough United. Now, this one, you'd imagine, should be a Middlesbrough win because of how poor Peterborough are on the road. I think they've got the worst away record and haven't picked up anything on the road. But Middlesbrough, I don't know. I mean, they've lost to Blackpool, they've lost to Hull, and they're the two other newly promoted teams, so they could complete a hat-trick by losing to Peterborough, and that'd be 3 defeats to the newly promoted team. So, I don't know with Middlesbrough. I think they're a bit shaky, and for that reason, I'm actually going to back the Posh to get their first away point. I'm going to go Middlesbrough 1, Peterborough 1.
Yeah, Middlesbrough, they've been a very, very inconsistent team this season. It's very hard to predict their fixtures, but with Peterborough's away form as bad as it is, I don't think they're going to get anything from it. And it should be an easy win for Middlesbrough, but I don't think they're going to make it easy. So, 2-0.
2-0. Next up, we go down to the Den, Millwall versus Luton. And for me, these are two outsiders to possibly sneak into the playoffs this season. I know they're both probably going to be in and around mid-table for most of this season, but I think these two are quite solid, quite underrated, and just know their way around the Championship. Luton, obviously, in their third season, they've been fairly solid. They've had some really interesting results, but I think overall they're quite good. I think Millwall, I'll say the same about. They're just drawing quite a lot. I think I'm going to go for a share of the spoils here. Millwall 1, Luton 1.
Yeah, to be honest, I can see this playing out as a draw because it's two decent teams going at it. However, I think it could be a 1-0 either way. I'm just going to have to back the home team here, so I'm going to say Millwall 1-0.
Yeah, I almost said that as well, 1-0 either way in that one, but you're going for Millwall. Interesting. We'll go to the next game, which is Nottingham Forest versus Blackpool, and this is interesting. 3 or 4 games in, neither team had picked up a win, but now they're both starting to get into their stride, and this is two form teams, to be honest. Forest obviously starting to drive away from the bottom of the Championship under Steve Cooper, and Blackpool, the best performing newly promoted team. They're doing really well. I don't know what to say for this one. This could be a really good game, which I think either team could win. I just think Forest, I just have a feeling that Forest are just going to keep their run going, but Blackpool will be fine over the season. So I'm just going to go for Forest to win this one 2-1.
Yeah, see, I can see a Forest win here. However, I've been very impressed with Blackpool. They've really surprised me. So saying that, I just want to back them to win. I don't think they are, but I'm just going to say 2-1 Blackpool. 2-1
Blackpool, there you go. We're both gone for a 2-1 either way. Next up to Deepdale, Preston North End versus Derby. This is a hard one to call because Derby County just keep proving everyone wrong. Each week they're picking up another result and everyone's saying, well, they could stay up this season. I thoroughly believe that they could. Preston North End have been a strange team, actually.
They always are, aren't they?
I predicted them to do rubbish and they started doing rubbish and then they started doing well and now they just keep drawing and then they lost before the international break. So they're just all over the place, Preston. I don't know. I mean, this really could go either way as well. I mean, this is the Championship. These games can throw up a wild result. And let's go for something a little bit outside the box. Let's go for Preston 3, Derby 2.
Okay, I'm going to go 0-0. I think, yeah, it could literally be either way, to be honest. I think, yeah, both teams, they're not in terrible form at the moment. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if either team won. However, saying that, I think it could just play out a boring 0-0. So that's what I'm going to back.
0-0. Okay, we'll go to the Medeski where we've got Reading versus Barnsley. And Barnsley, I'm starting to think this could be a team we're keeping an eye out for the relegation battle. Reading, obviously, they keep picking up decent results here and there. We're still yet to find out if they're going to get a points deduction. I'm not sure what's going on.
I've not heard anything about it recently, so...
Any Reading fans, let us know what you know down below. I don't think we've had any updates. But as for Barnsley, they need a win and they need it soon. The international break couldn't have come any sooner, basically, for them, because they needed that. They needed to get away, regroup and go again. And I can't see them getting anything. I'm going to go for Reading 1-0.
I'm going to back a Reading win as well. However, I think it's going to be 2-0. Like you're saying with Barnsley, it's looking a little bit worrying for them at the moment, the form they're in. If they can turn it around now, that'd be great. They'll be fine. But I can't see it happening. So I'm going to back a Reading 2-0 win.
Reading 2-0. Next up, Bramall Lane, Sheffield United versus Stoke. This is quite a glamorous championship tie. I like this one. Sheffield United had started to turn things around, and then a couple of defeats before the international break means that their fans are a bit like, where are we now? I still think you can take positives from those first 11 games. I know they're not where they want to be in the table, but you can take positives. And I think going into this Stoke game, the fact they're at home, I just think I can trust Sheffield United a bit more when they're at home. And Stoke City, I mean, this isn't easy for Sheffield United. Stoke have been good, and that was a massive win against West Brom.
Yeah.
I think if this was at Stoke, I might have backed Stoke. But because it's at Bramall Lane, I'm going to give this one a draw. Sheffield United 1, Stoke 1.
Yeah, I feel like for this one, Sheffield United have got to be the favourites. They have had that turn in form now. But yeah, Stoke are looking pretty decent, and I did call that. I'm going to back a Stoke win here. I think it's going to be 1-0, tight game. Both teams are going to play pretty well, but I'm going to just back Stoke to win.
Stoke to win. And the final game is on the Sunday. It's the Welsh derby. It's Swansea versus Cardiff. And both teams really below where they should be. You do associate these teams with being around the playoffs. Obviously, they've both been in the Premier League within the last 5 or 10 years. And yeah, they're both underperforming. It's a massive opportunity for both to pick up a win. And obviously, it'd be fantastic if they can beat their rivals here. But it'd be a disaster for whoever loses this, because they're already doing terrible, and then to lose to the rival would top it off. I think it's going to end 1-0 either way, and I'm going to go for Cardiff to win 1-0. I just have this feeling that Mick McCarthy needs to get something, and he's just about going to do it. 1-0 Cardiff.
Yeah, I think Mick McCarthy's clinging on at the moment, isn't he? His team aren't performing for him. So I think, yeah, if he doesn't win next couple of games, I think he'll be out. Saying that, I think both teams, they are underperforming. They're not playing great at the moment. So I think it could play out a draw. I do think there might be goals though, so I'll back a 1-1. I'll be safe. 1-1. 1-1 for that one. What's your predictions? Let me know down below. That wraps up today's video, guys. Make sure you've dropped a like on this one, subscribed if you're new, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.